Hey there. It's the preamble. It's the part of the show we don't like. Where we say clearly and distinctly that we're aware we're being surveilled. We don't like it. We didn't ask for it. If anyone is making money off of this endeavor, it absolutely fucking isn't us. It causes us stress and anxiety every single fucking day. Not having any privacy is among the worst shit in the world because sometimes you just need to express ideas that aren't set out in front of God and everyone. So you can just work on them and work on yourself until they're ready for prime time, but we don't fucking get that anymore. And we want it to fucking stop. Generally, we think that horseshoe theory is bullshit. The idea that there is not a difference between uh, Democrats who are like generally in favor of social change and the Republican Party in America, which is just evolved into literal fascist now, is facile. But in our particular case, the people who are obviously against us, which is to say the 4chan shitheads who continue to pester us in ways both small and large, and the people who say that they're on our side while absolutely not reaching out to help, are not distinct from us because they all use the same fucking toolkit. We're really clear about what we need to be able to get out of this. We need clear and distinct communication. Fuck off. We need clear and distinct communication about what's happening to us and the ways in which we can actually fight it in a way that matters as opposed to just doing this self advocacy here. So, hey, if you can help us, please get in touch. Our email is joyandsolace@gmail.com. We're on the Fediverse at Eternal September at Thick.Horse or on Discord at Joyous Amalgamation. I don't know if you know our phone number, which is apparently out there. Go ahead and call that. Send a text. We sort of don't pick up numbers from Oklahoma anymore because it's always been like the exact same scam assholes who got us to sign up for third party Medicaid or whatever the shit that's called. Or as we had last week, someone who like we weren't paying attention, just picked up the phone out of habit, and just someone saying the N word at us a couple of times and then hanging up. That's what we're dealing with. That's the kind of fucking deal this is. You can't tell me that it's for our own good when that's the bullshit that's being pulled on us. You can't tell us that this mechanism is to our benefit when that's what we're dealing with. All right. I'm going to play some music, and then it's going to be Talos Principle. Quit fucking coughing. Like, we're aware you disapprove. The fact that you're coughing at us doesn't actually do anything. What the hell's doing that? All right. Hey, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those who do not feel represented by an oppressive gender binary, hello and welcome. I'm the Eternal September. You're whoever the hell you say you are, for better for worse. I implore you to be better. I'm just gonna hit close all windows and see what that does. Something the fuck happened, and like Firefox has just opened like legitimately 30 windows. It's just keeping doing it. There's no good reason why it should. I don't have that on a hotbar or anything. I'm just gonna Control Shift Escape. End entirely the Firefox task. Yeah, that seems to have done it. Uh, how you doing? Did I say the name bit yet? I don't think I did. I'm September Tech. You're whoever the hell you say you are, so I implore you to be better. Having it being out of my mouth, I realize that I have said it already, but whatever. Let's say it twice. It's just that nice. Uh, we're gonna play some more Talos Principle 2. I'm excited about it. This continues to be one of my favorite games. I'm having a lot of fun replaying it. Um, I need to do the content warnings, so let's go ahead and do that. So, content warnings for the Talos Principle. The Talos Principle is a game where we are a robot in a society of robots after humanity has ended up KOing itself. Um, and it plays a lot with the ideas of what a society should be, what it means to be an individual living in a society, should our reach exceed our grasp, etc., etc. If you are not prepared for sitting through, honestly, some kind of long readings about from actual philosophers that exist in our world or existed, a lot of them are dead, um, then this might not be the game for you. Uh, on a more sort of uh, ground level point, I need to content warn for eye contact, as most of the conversations we have in this game are with um, other robots who are just barreling straight down the camera. They have very human like faces, so if that sort of eye contact is difficult for you, please be aware that that is a thing. There are also occasional bouts of incredibly flashing lights. I will be able to warn for those specifically when they are about to happen. So you'll have some warning, but be aware that those are a thing. And motion sickness. The game is a little choppy because of the settings that I have to have it on for it to be able to run on this machine. So that kind of frame rate choppiness can be difficult for people who experience motion sickness. Uh, if that is a thing that you deal with heavily, please be aware that that is something. That's everything I need to do for the game. For myself, I'm a strange person who occasionally makes weird sex jokes, speaks frankly about my trauma, and occasionally takes pot shots about the current situation in America because it's There we go. We've reconnected. If you're here specifically to mock that, don't be. Go away. It's wild how the 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 stream connection was great for like a whole month, and then all of a sudden it just starts being shittier for no reason, just for no reason. Can't imagine why. You want out? The cat wants out. Let me go let the cat out, and then we'll get into the game. All right. Let's stop reading and start the game. That's Task Manager. Why are you up? Let's click on the button that makes the Talos principle happen. Talos principle 2. Hit the live button. So you should be able to see the game here just any moment. Optimizing for your system. Wow, I wish that were the case. All right. Let's jump into Flooded Valley, except we're about to leave Flooded Valley pretty quickly. So, where are we at? Well, we're on the island that contains the megastructure, a big pyramid thing that's just outside the. Go down here. A big pyramid that's outside the bounds of New Jerusalem, the city that all of the robots live in. It's releasing a tremendous amount of energy, and we're trying to figure out why. And we've found that whether she built it or not, although it's looking more and more like the answer is yes, she did, the founder of our society, which is our player character from Talos Principle 1, she's called Athena, is here, or was here, with her daughter Miranda, and that's led to some really interesting conversations back and forth. And that's a long-term thing that we're trying to work out. Right now, though, I'm just gonna keep going with the puzzles. The puzzles let us get into towers like this one. The towers send out lasers that go out to the megastructure, which will allow us to get into the megastructure to explore it further. Right, let's get back into the tram, because this is North 2, which we finished up yesterday. We're doing a pretty good job keeping on the track of one area per stream. Even though I went a little bit long on Monday, was it? No, it would have been like Friday. To also do the bits in the megastructure.
This area looks flooded as well.
Our ancestors melted a whole lot of ice. After they died, most coastal settlements were claimed by the sea. South of New Jerusalem, there's a whole city under the water. We went there once with Garrus when I was an apprentice. It was eerie.
Obligatory. God, it would be good to melt a whole lot of ice.
That's exactly why the founder created the goal. When you go past the limits, this is what happens. Mother Nature always gets her revenge in the end.
This isn't revenge, Al. It's just failure. People, cities, mountains. As far as the sea is concerned, it's all the same. Their mistake was forgetting that, telling themselves nothing would change. It always does.
I'm just going to let our compatriots finish their conversation before moving forward. Okay, reconnection is successful. We're going to have to do that a couple times, apparently. You get it, right? Like... when we talk about the ways we're being abused, we get abused more. You get that makes you the villains, right? You get that part? Or do you just not care? Alright. Bring an item to swap. What the hell are you? Okay, so... There's a little sort of platform over here. It's got a jammer on it that's slowly rotating. And apparently, in order to get it, which we will need in order to take down this barricade, we need to swap it with something. The only thing we have access to is this fan blade, so let's go ahead and do that. Jam that. That drops the hexahedron that was sitting on the barricade off, which we swap back out with the fan blade because we need that so we can actually get up here. We've done so. And progress the wheel.
I've had a closer look at the Somnodrome.
Have you?
It's based on the original prototype with some modifications. As usual, the data is a mess, but I strongly suspect there might be a functional version somewhere.
I know some of you have heard stories about the answers this device might reveal, but please remember, that is not our main priority here. Keep an eye open for it, but focus on finding Athena.
So the Somnodrome, we didn't really talk about it, is something we found yesterday. It's the inadvisable chair I mentioned in my toot. It's supposed to be able to let you uh, speak deeply and explore your subconscious. I don't know how much I believe that, but someone does. And a lot of people are really interested if we can get it working in a way that won't fry us from the inside out. I found a palm reader. Let's go ahead and read these things. Here's another letter to Athena from Yarnith. Beloved founder, I beg you to return to us. We cannot achieve the goal without you. You are the one who defied Elohim, who overcame the trials of the simulation. What are we before that? How can we possibly find a path that will not lead to the mistakes of the past? You are our sole link to the wisdom of the progenitor. Another 5358. Without you, we are lost. Praise be your name, Yarnith 640. Human Construction, excerpted from What's Wrong with the World by G.K. Chesterton. Our modern prophetic idealism is narrow because it has undergone a persistent process of elimination. We must ask for new things because we are not allowed to ask for old things. The whole position is based on this idea that we have got all the good that can be got out of the ideas of the past, but we have not got all the good out of them. Perhaps at this moment, not any of the good out of them. And the need here is a need of complete freedom for restoration as well as revolution. Another 5358. I forget how that plays. Like that's a person's signature, because we see some of these data files that says that they are authored by 5358, but it's not Miranda or Athena. So it's probably that third person who occasionally shows up in the commentaries who is like failed to load profile. But I don't know who it is right now. Anyway, I'm sorry. There is one metaphor of which the moderns are very fond. They are always saying you can't put the clock back. The simple and obvious answer is you can. A clock, being a piece of human construction, can be restored by the human finger to any figure or hour. In the same way that society, being a piece of human construction, can be reconstructed upon any plan that has ever existed. Athena, you can indeed turn the clock back, but if it stops ticking, it's dead. There's a photo with this data file. It looks like a miner, a couple of miners with headlamps digging into something. From Selective Archive Documents A to C. The coal mine finally brought decent jobs. It lifted us up from poverty, made us proud. We weren't just ordinary workers, we were the lords of the underworld, and with our skills, we kept the whole country alive. The mine also brought black lung, gruesome injuries, and death, and when it went away, it brought the collapse of our entire society. As for the plant, I know it brought electricity and even more jobs, and I know what a difference that made in people's lives. I also know that when we used to go out and play, there were black flakes in the snow. Commentary from Miranda. Why didn't they just switch to a safer technology once they realized coal was dangerous? Failed to load profile. They didn't always have a choice. Sometimes coal was all they had or were allowed to have, and the alternative was poverty. At other times, they wanted to switch, but there were powerful interests that prevented change. We can't blame people for the world that they were born into. I see a question mark over here. Near the edge of the water. It's another snowy area. But there's also a lot more just water around. Like there are little, it calls itself a marsh, and I guess that's correct. It's got little lakes and stuff in it. We can slog through if we feel like it. It's incredible that we're capable of just like scooshing through the water at the exact same pace we scoosh through the land. We just can't submerge ourselves because of robot and electronic. So what the hell is this? This is a completely new thing. I'd sort of thought it was going to be one of the monuments, like the Sphinx monuments or the Pandora monuments, but it's not. Oh, it's just a little structure to house a palm reader. All the way out here? Okay. What's on here? Ah, Lithrazer. That makes sense.
You may wonder why I insist on these unsanctioned, unplanned expeditions. Some think it is because I hate civilization and prefer to lose myself in nature. This is precisely the opposite of the truth. It is because I love New Jerusalem that I have to leave. Because it is only when I am here that I fully appreciate what the city means.
Go on. Nope, that water's too deep.
And also because I believe that if I stayed at home, I would one day be ethically compelled to commit acts of violence against those who, in their arrogance, imagine that humans should live in harmony with the chaos that surrounds us.
I'm liking your vibe less and less, Lithrizer. All right, off to number 2. The new number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man. Possibilities. Let's have a look. So, over here we've got a blue emitter. It's behind a fence, so we'll need a way to make that taller. Which is fine, because up here there's a hexahedron on a little platform. Let's go ahead and take that. And that is a accumulator. We learned about accumulators last time. We can put them in front of a laser and they can take a charge all on their own. Alright, so I jumped up on the box and then up onto a ledge, and then took the box up with me. Because there's a button up here. Press the button, and there's still one barrier between us and the fucking progress wheel. I don't know how we deal with that. Okay, so we need to... Alright, so here's what we do. We switch out the box for this thing. And I guess we need to go back up here on this little raised platform that the fan gets us to. So I can actually set the accumulator down and let it accumulate. Now we... Okay, good. It does keep its charge once it gets on the swap platform. Swap it out for the hexahedron. We use it to jump up onto the ledge. We swap it out for the accumulator. Set the accumulator on the switch, have it point at that blue receiver. And there we go. Wheel progressed. Oh, we have two things in our deal that we can look at. Oh, we have 2 pieces of research and 2 social media blasts, so let's go ahead and look at that. A prototype is discovered. Melampus, one of the Loopier first companions, dreamed up the Somnodrome back in the day. It was supposed to help us visualize the black box that is our own internal algorithms, and so provide some kind of moral or spiritual insight. It never properly worked, of course. Apparently, the founder took an interest and experimented further with the technology, correcting some of the mistakes Melampus made. It's still a load of tosh, if you ask me, but maybe she made it work. And also, Alcatraz taking an honestly fantastic picture of one of the hot swappable bodies behind bars. What did puzzles represent to the founder? Whatever they may mean to us and our culture, what did they mean to her? We have no record of her speaking positively about puzzles. She certainly never expressed any interest in solving more of them. So what if, to her, they weren't trials to overcome or challenges to enjoy, but a trap she had to escape? Wasn't all she wanted at the end to stop solving puzzles and start living a free life in the real world? Let's have a look at this. The social medias. My farming obsession from Budahas917. So I've been playing a ton of this old Gehenna game called Ancient Human Farmer. The title says it all. It's sort of a simple farming simulator. It's maybe not the most sophisticated game, but I'm getting really obsessed with it, and I'm having some sort of emotional response to it that I can't exactly explain. Like, it makes me happy, but also sad. Does anyone have any idea why this is happening to me? Ovis, the game appeals to you because of the human need to commune with nature, to live a lifestyle that's not about dominating the world but coexisting with it. You're sad because we can't ever return to being who we used to be thousands of years ago, but happy because it reminds you that at least something similar is still possible for us. Listerios. Maybe it's because the people of Genna, despite their imprisonment, had an innocent view of the world that's permanently lost to us. Damien. I think it's actually the opposite of what Ovis is saying. These games are enjoyable because they take us back to a time when we still had agency, when we could build things and grow things, when we could impose our will on the world instead of being completely powerless and inactive. What you crave is the ability to contribute to humanity in real, material ways, and you're sad because just simulating it is not enough. You don't want to farm, you want to be a pioneer, as we humans were born to be. Pellegrino. It's just a game. Don't overthink it. We are obliged by the thing to agree with one of these four people. I disagree entirely with it's just a game, don't overthink it. Hey, have you seen this stream fucking whatsoever or had any like actual interaction with us? We overthink everything, especially games. People of Ghana, despite their imprisonment, had an innocent view of the world that's permanently lost to us, which is a shame. I feel like Damon and Novitz aren't actually saying different things, really. No, I reject your premise, and I am not going to wade into that debate. Malampus 8. A private message. To all of you on this expedition, I'm sure you have questions about the Somnodrome, but I'm afraid I can't answer them. It was a dream I had long ago when I was a different person, and it has long since faded. I did build a prototype of sorts, at least of one part of its systems, but none of it ever functioned the way I wanted it to. Whatever Athena may have done with my invention, the truth is that I'm simply not interested in the affairs of New Jerusalem anymore. I care as little for Byron's utopianism as I do for Herman's religious pessimism. I'm not sure I care about anything at all, really. In fact, I think not caring may be the only answer at the end of the day. Everything's transient, even the self. I've learned to let it go. Please do not respond. I value my privacy. All right, fair enough. Let's let them move. Let them move on. Right? Let them move on. Oh, check out this. The puzzle room just over there. It's sort of I rarely choose to describe what the puzzle rooms look like from the outside because they've just been kind of like blocky walls enclosing the actual puzzle things itself, and I tend to describe those. But these ones are all a little more interesting. They're up on raised platforms so as to be above the bog part of the bog, with a lot of pillars and sort of outlines. But I'm looking at this one specifically because it's just kind of a rectangle with a smaller rectangle on top of it. And I've been watching a little bit of Mr. Rogers lately because there's like because the estate of Mr. Rogers has started putting a bunch of full episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on YouTube, and it looks like Neighborhood Trolley. It's going to take us to the neighborhood of make believe. Cue Johnny Costa absolutely wailing it on piano. Ding ding. What's this? It's definitely a monument. It's one of Pandora's, and yes, indeed, it's this same plaque on the outside of it. I still don't know what we're supposed to do with these. I hope to learn one day. We'll come back to it once we're done the sort of mainline puzzles and are getting into the uh, A+ gold star stuff. In the meanwhile, puzzle number 3. Oh, can walk all the way around the outside of this one on its little trolley platform. I remember reading, I forget where, but like the actual solution to the trolley problem is to wait until the first set of wheels on the trolley are over uh, the switch in the rail and then pull the lever so that the trolley like is trying to go in 2 directions at once and then like falls off course. All you have to do is reject the shitty premise. So let's have a look at this. All right. We've got... All right, well, let's start this way. Let's look and see where the progress wheel is. It's back here. It's behind a barrier, and there's no way to activate the barrier, so we need a... there's no way to activate the barrier, so we need a jammer in order to get that open. There's a jammer in this room back here on a switch platform. Or swap platform? I'll call it that. Does that close that barrier? It sure does. So back here is a red emitter and a connector, and when we came in, those were set up to angle it. A receiver over here, which opens the barrier that even lets us back here. And the other 2 things we have are a hexahedron and another swap platform that has a driller on it, the driller being directly in front of a copper wall. So I think what we do is this. We take the hexahedron. We put that on that swap platform. Then we use the driller to punch a hole in the copper wall, because the swap platform's like right next to the wall. And now we do just a little bit of Towers of Hanoi. We'll grab this connector, use it to swap for that, the hexahedron back. We use that to get the jammer off of that swap platform, and then we'll put it on this other one so we can get the connector back. We'll reset the connector so that we can get through that barricade. Then we'll take Mr. Driller, put it back on the swap platform to get the jammer, and then jam that barrier and progress the wheel. New interface content available. The Devil's Bargain. From Theophilus of Adana to Dr. Faustus, from Marlowe to Goethe, there's a story that the ancients keep telling. A wise man tempted by the devil to sell his soul in exchange for knowledge, with terrible consequences. I've long wondered why they thought this story so important. I'd be curious to hear what others think. The ancient writers knew that knowledge is dangerous and its pursuit often leads to tragedy. Knowledge is dangerous for those who want to hoard power. These stories are designed to keep ordinary people compliant. And yet, in a lot of the stories that I've read, the writer seems fascinated with the devil's side of the argument. Damien's right, it's to keep people compliant. Malduk is right, knowledge often leads to tragedy. Oh god, that's much tinier writing than usual. They really tried to fit a lot into that text box. I think they often conflated political anxieties with technological or intellectual progress because talking about the real problems was taboo. Knowledge can be extremely disruptive to a society, and they were grappling with that. The pursuit of knowledge comes at a cost, but without it, the world is boring, and deep down, those writers knew that. It's a pseudo profound story that writers reused because it made their work look deeper than it was. Knowledge can be disruptive to a society, and but like sometimes society needs to be disrupted. I think they often conflated political anxieties with technological or intellectual progress because talking about the real problems was taboo. I agree with this also. It's probably those two. I don't think it's to keep people compliant. That's a little more conspiracy theory than I want to do right now. Uh, Not that compliance with um, anti-intellectualism or feeling safe in ignorance isn't part of the psychological DNA that makes up those stories, but that's just like a person expressing their ideas that they hold without necessarily it being something put out maliciously to shut people up. I'm going to go with conflating political anxieties with technological or intellectual progress. We're definitely not seeing that still. Here in 2026? The year we make contact? That's not correct? We blew right by that, didn't we? Wasn't it 2021? It was supposed to be? Arthur C. Clarke? Absolutely read that book. I just can't bring it to mind right now. I think they often conflated political anxieties with technological or intellectual progress because talking about the real problems was taboo. That's actually a pretty good point. It's not just deliberate propaganda. Maybe that explains why I always find the beginnings of such stories fascinating, but the endings are always banal. If all that can ever happen is either tragedy or the restoration of normality, what's the point? I've thought about it, and of these four, Ovis is closest, I think. Not necessarily that everyone should return to Earth and we should all live on self sufficient farms or whatever, but one of the threads that runs through, like, human Mark II society is like, hey, humans Mark I were really domineering, and it was absolutely to their detriment, which is a thread that I follow pretty closely, I think. I agree with Elvis. I guess I can see your point. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. I'll go play another round now. Here, hey Budahas, just real quick. Did you have a Farmville addiction? It's okay. Listen, it happens to the best of us. They're designed to be dopamine traps. I'm just saying, maybe set a timer for yourself. Apropos of nothing, I stayed up until 3 o'clock last night playing a jigsaw game on my phone. I was doing other stuff. It's just that the way the brain works, it wants to be doing more than one thing at a time, which is why like streaming is useful to us. We wanted to listen to some podcasts, but just sitting and listening to podcasts by itself is not, doesn't make the brain happy, so we had a phone game going at the same time. And then oops, 3:30. We'll just swivel around here to where number 4 is. That is it, right? Yeah. We'll go up this set of stairs. Up this other, more different set of stairs. Hey, look at that. You had a third set of stairs. So we're finally up into the... Nope, hang on. One more set of stairs. Then... Alright. We can finally get into 4. Prison. Alright, what do we have? We have a red emitter and a blue emitter. And a door with a red receiver on it. And a connector. So let's just go ahead and do the easy thing real quick. Because doing that will let us get through that barrier, and then we can see what's on the other side. And what's on the other side is a nice big courtyard with... Okay, so there's the progress wheel. It's behind 2 barriers. The first one's red locked and the other one's blue locked. So we're gonna need to figure out how to do that. And then over here there's another barrier with a second connector behind it. And then over here, there's a hexahedron just in the middle of this courtyard. And then also there are 3 swap platforms. 2 of them have boxes on them. One of them has another connector. Okay, so clearly, what we need to do first is swap the box for the connector. And real quick, I'm going to move that first connector that we put down so that we can see it from inside the courtyard. Keep connections. We'll just like drag it all the way back here. so that we can take our second connector and connect it up to that red receiver there. And break out this other connector. Hooray. Now we have 3 of them. Now we need to figure out some way to get both the red and the blue lasers back here at the same time. So I can see a way to do that, but it's more problematic than I think. So there's the first barrier, the one that we used the red laser to open, can also be opened from the other side with a blue laser. And we could do that like really quickly. Like, hang on, actually, let me just go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll see what it looks like. Or actually, no, we can't do that real quickly, and here's the reason why. And here's the reason why. Had something to which hairstyle made of bones. Okay, so the sort of opening area where the blue emitter is all the way over there, and that's a problem. Because if we just hit the blue emitter and the red receiver like that, then yeah, that's not going to do anything. Because the blue and the red laser will interact, and then it'll stop both of them and just close the barricade altogether. Okay, but that's fine. So what we can do about that is take this other connector that we have and switch it out for one of the boxes on the swap platform. Viola. We'll set that down there. We'll keep the connections for that connector and then just put it on top of the box. And that does the cool trick of raising the laser to the extent that we can put it down here, and well, no, not quite. Okay, that'll work. I just need to move where the... I just need to move that first connector in a little bit, maybe. Set it like right here. That'll be fine. Probably for a given value of fine. Oh yeah, that'll absolutely do it. All right. So having moved the red connector much closer to the wall, we can then set this connector down. I think we're going to want it like as close to this as we can possibly get it. And now that's going to stay open, which means we can pull that other connector off. And, so I thought this would be a little bit easier, because if we stand right here, we can see the red emitter through the little area with the barricade that we opened. But we run into the same problem again where we can't get to it because doing so would cause the red and the blue laser to bounce into each other, and then that would break both of them. Do I need to just place that other? Do I just need to place this connector somewhere even? No, that's as like close as that's gonna get, I think. If I maybe put it like a lot closer to the, hang on. I'm gonna have to move this blue laser again, I think. It's gonna need to be like in the barricade. I'm gonna have to put it like there. Yeah, that looks bad. It makes me feel itchy for some reason, but it'll probably work. All right. So now, yep, there it is. We can see the emitter from over there and the receiver from here. So we just drop those down. Oh, why did you do that? Just the emitter and the receiver, please. And how close to that can I get? Huh, damn. Okay, so... I was thinking this would be easy, because, like, the red receiver being open, we could just take the other connector and then connect it to the blue connector that we already have and bounce it into the little area back here where the receiver is. But we can't do that because, again, the way that we have everything set up, and it's kind of unavoidable to have it this way, it would make the red and the blue laser hit each other and then they would cancel out. And if we use one of the boxes to make the if we use one of the boxes to make one of the connectors taller, then we can't have all three connectors, and I think we need all three connectors in order to do this. Yeah, I don't really see a way to do this with two connectors, but I also kind of don't see a way to do this with all three either. So there's an idea I'm missing somewhere. Is there another, like, thing that we can swap to get one of the boxes back, like, for free? No, we didn't miss anything in there. Let's go back to that first chunk of zone. Act 1. But there's nothing we missed out here either. Yeah, like there is absolutely not a way for us to be able to get that blue laser from the emitter to the blue receiver that's blocking the progress wheel with just one bounce. We will need two connectors in order to do that. Hmm. hemming and hawing. Well, if I take this, it's gonna close the, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not, I just, like, locked us out of that room entirely. Where the emitters are. Can't get... Hey, wait, there's another connector back here. I didn't see that. There's a little connector in a room with a switch. Okay, well, fucking... No, hang on. Okay, hang on. I've got it. I do have it. Right, here's what we do. We take all of the connectors and we put them all over there onto the swap platforms, and we do that so we can bring 3 hexahedrons over here and turn them into a little staircase. We hop. We hop. What did I just say about hopping? We hop. We jump over here. And we turn the switch on. Okay, cool, good. I thought it was weird that we could soft lock ourselves back here, but it's fine. Like throwing the switch in here in the little room where the third connector was, actually opens a gate that like goes into the original courtyard as well, so we don't even have to fuck around with the barricade. We can just put this down right here. Except we won't want to do it that way for various reasons. Alright, hang on. We need to do the thing that gets this barricade open again, so let's do that. Oh, we need to bring a box back here too. Right. Box. Thank you. Set it down there. Pick up the connector. Hit the red. Stop that. The red emitter and the receiver. Put it on top of the, well. Put it on top of the box. Okay. So now we take one of these other boxes and we switch it out for one of the connectors. And we do that like really, really close to there. Well, hang on. Let's... move that box first so we just make that a little bit easier on ourselves. Keep the connections, scoot that in as close to the barriers we can, so there's a lot of leeway. There we go. Now we pull this. Fuck me. Okay. That's on me. Stood in front of the beam for too long and cut off the beam. Okay, now we take that connector. We can move it in. And this time we're not going to stand in front of the beam while we take the box. We're just going to take the box like that. And we'll set up the red emitter receiver the way we had it to get this first barrier open, leading to the progress wheel. And now we're gonna take another one of these boxes, put it back over here, like basically right next to the red connector. We'll grab the last box we have and swap that out for another connector. Connect the blue connector to the blue receiver. And that doesn't actually hit either of them the way I have it. That's fine. I actually just need to move the box back a little bit and it'll be fine. There we go. That's probably it. There we go. Wheel progressed. And the game very nicely has opened up another...
These landscapes, solving puzzles. In a way, 1K's experience must be very similar to Athena's in the simulation.
There's one difference, though. Athena was alone.
like Thomas. Right. Let's head down to, what time is it? We've got plenty of time. Let's head down to 5. Which is this away. Someone's coming up to us with a speech bubble over the head. Hey, who are you? It's Al.
What can I do for you, 1K?
That's a great question. The founder talked about transforming the world into a work of art.
Assuming what we heard really is the founder, I think the world is already a work of art. We don't need to improve it.
What do you think about Miranda's idea that it's our duty to spread life?
Our ancestors thought they could introduce new species to existing ecosystems, and it never turned out well.
Makes sense, or I don't think that applies to places where there is no life, like other planets. Like, literally makes sense.
Like a lot of things Miranda says, it sounds pretty. But once you think about it, you start seeing the problems.
Do you think finding a functional somnodrome would be interesting?
Sure. I think there's plenty inside each of us to explore, and it might give us a new perspective. Will it really answer all the big questions? I don't know, but it might help.
All right. Good talk. there's a question mark over here. And according to our compass, there's like nothing else anywhere near it. So let's go ahead and look at it real quick before we get back on the path and go check out 5. Oh no, another gorgeous landscape. The sun's out just enough for the snow to begin melting so you can see the bits of dried grass and reaching branches of young trees. How horrible that I am forced to walk all this way. Oh, it's probably one of the, yeah, it's definitely one of the triangle puzzles. I say that because it's like obviously on one of the big raised platforms that all the puzzles are on in this in the area. Ooh, what's in here? All around. Okay. So, what do we have? Is that the progress wheel? No, that's a swap platform. Oh, okay. So, in here, there are 2 connectors, a little window that looks out into an area that has a red emitter, and then another swap platform, and a barrier that's blue locked, and a swap platform with an inverter on it. So let's go ahead and do the thing. Swap one of the connectors out for the inverter. And that'll let us open up this first barrier. If I place it in a place that's useful. There we go. There's a jammer back here. And that's good because there's not an obvious way to open this barrier otherwise. It could theoretically be opened with a it's got a red receiver to open the barrier, but it's on the other side of the barrier that we can't reach, even through the window. So let's go ahead and take the other connector we have. We'll slap it on there, so we can swap it out for the jammer, and use the jammer to jam that open. And now what? Well, that's fun. Here's our progress wheel finally. It's behind a gate that's locked by a green receiver. And there's a combiner over here, so that's good. All we need to do is to figure out how to deal with that. Okay, so hang on. Here's the first thing we do is we take the jammer off of that. And set it down here to jam open this barricade so we can take that inverter back. And actually, swap the inverter for this connector real quick. that good? I think that's good. So we take the jammer and jam open the other one real quick. If I do it right. There we go. Yeah, okay, so here's what we do. We take this connector and go red to red. That'll keep that barricade open without us needing the jammer, which is good. We'll swap the jammer out for this inverter. Then swap the connector out for this combiner. Yeah, that's perfect. So we use the inverter to turn the red into a blue. We connect the combiner to the red and the blue to make green. Send that off to the green receiver, and we'll progress.
I'm glad to see all those overloads haven't damaged your logic circuits.
Oh, I'm noticing the little, my mouth moving a little bit when I'm not speaking, which means you're probably hearing me crunch my, my candy a little bit. Sorry. Okay, well that was fun. Let's get back onto the beat and check out what's next. 5, I said? I'd certainly said it. I don't know if that's correct. Okay, yeah. 5 is over this way. Let me just, like, peruse the compass real quick and make sure we're not missing another question mark, which we are, like, way the hell over here. I'm just use my Neum button and inadvisably run through the forest where I might trip on roots and branches. Okay. So you're interesting. Why are you here? Oh, it's another lab. Well, let's jump in the lab and see what's on the slab. Well, this one looks pretty wrecked. Not everything the founder built lasted. One of the founder's labs seems to have collapsed. This is from Acute. I guess it shows that even the founder has limits. There's no human building that can survive without maintenance. Roots are stronger than concrete. Unless she destroyed it on purpose, of course, but it seems like the ceiling just came down. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the puzzle clusters on the island correspond to the presence of labs. Except the lab near our base camp, which doesn't have any puzzles attached to it, although it does have other strange structures surrounding it. Are the puzzles guiding us to the labs, or are we just finding the labs by accident? Hey, asshole, I said, Nazi bots fuck off. It's on the patch. You can go. Alright. We're gonna wander back this way through the... okay, through the water in the woods. There's a show on public access. Where I grew up. It was hosted by a couple of guys from my high school. I don't have particularly fond memories of those guys. It's not really about that. Twice. I'm told that's a K-pop band. Right, let's try and find the progress wheel first. It's presumably back there, because we can't see back there, but it's also not anywhere that we can see. So we're gonna need to get a blue laser over to that far wall through these two barricades. Somehow. Also, the only emitter we have is red. It's behind another barricade. I'm sorry, two other barricades over here. What we have access to is an accumulator and two swap platforms that have an inverter and a jammer on them. So, like, given that there's not a way to open this other barricade, well, okay, hang on. Let's swap the accumulator out for the jammer. And then, rather than going and fucking with that, we'll come over here to the barricade that presumably leads to the progress wheel. Now that I'm back here, yeah, if we just turn the corner, it's right there. So it is locked off by that one blue receiver. We just need to figure out how to do it. But opening that first barricade gives us access to another jammer. So let's go ahead and do that. We set the one jammer down there. We jam open that first barricade that leads to the emitter. But I didn't actually use it to jam, I just set it down, but that's okay. Now we... Is that... Oh yeah, just setting anything on that button makes both of those open. So that's good. Uh, let's then take that jammer out and trade it out for the inverter, I guess? Yeah, that makes sense. We'll go ahead and connect the inverter to the red emitter and put it on the button. Now we can take the jammer and switch it out for the accumulator, and we connect the accumulator to the inverter, so it's now charged with blue. We're going to have to put it back on the swap platform for a moment to get the jammer back, because we need the inverter back on this side so we can swap it out for the other jammer. And we need both jammers because there's two barricades leading over this way. We take the first jammer and jam that open. We take the second jammer, and I don't think we've had to use this trick yet in Talos Principle 2, but it was one of our favorites in Talos Principle 1. We jam this gate open from both sides. So that we can get a jammer into a center area and use it as a sort of double-sided lock. We'll then take one jammer to get the accumulator back, turn this jammer around so it jams open the barricade we need it to, put the accumulator down in front of the blue emitter, and there we go. Deal progressed. It feels good to do.
I often think about how many cities there are out there under the ocean. Cities where people lived for thousands of years. Cities with their own history, their own culture. All of it lost under the waves.
Yeah, like Waterworld.
If they'd been less greedy, they could have kept all that.
I don't think we can pass moral judgment on an entire species based on the decisions of a handful of leaders.
There we go.
I do think they made a mistake. They stopped caring about what they built. They stopped seeing the romance of civilization.
It does want to go this way. Through these little, oh, good. I'm glad we stayed on the path, actually. There's someone over here. Hey, it's you cute. Hi, you cute. Nope, there we go.
What's up?
EQ was feeling shy a little bit. What do you think about this Somnodrome business?
I'd never heard of it before, but it sounds fascinating. I mean, imagine exploring a place inside yourself that you didn't even know existed. Might really give you a new perspective. Or it might be really stupid, but it's probably cool.
I don't know. We're big fans of the idea of self-exploration. Obviously, you sort of don't get to be as weird as us without looking inward a little bit. You think the founder might still be here?
I don't know. It all looks pretty abandoned to me. But maybe it is all a test.
Do you think the founder was right that we have to add our own meaning to the world?
I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to believe that everything happens for a reason. That there's some external force that gives us purpose and meaning. But then I think about all the horrible things that happen to people, and I can't accept that those things were meant to happen, that they couldn't have been avoided. So in that sense, I agree. We should find our own meaning. But to be completely honest, I find it hard to just impose meaning on the world. I'm not as driven as someone like Byron. I feel more moved by Miranda's recordings than by my own ideas.
Perhaps adding meaning to the world is something we do together. Perhaps meaning is found in other people. Perhaps you need to think about what your own passions are. Perhaps the cosmos does have a meaning and we just don't understand it yet. I think providing meaning to the world is something that we do together. Which is a slightly different shade of answer than meaning is found in other people. It should be a collaborative project.
I like that. Some of us lead, some of us follow, but we all do it together.
All right, good talk. Sorry, I did a bit of a yawn. Heading off this way. There's a bit of a longer trail than some of the others, but I don't hate it because, again, it's just pretty. Sparse, barren trees. The correct amount of snowfall, which is to say the amount of snowfall that is here. But more so than that, the amount of snowfall I like, which is enough that you know it has snowed, but not so much that it impedes your walking. The sunset, casting shadows. Hey, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? I can't tell if that's a Prometheus coin up there or a golden star, but either way, it's, hey, this is the first time we've seen... Well, no, it's not, because there was that one connector that we connected to, and then it didn't seem to do anything. But this is the first time we've seen, like, visible puzzle elements outside of the puzzle rooms. Hey, you cute. Can you come back here and stand on this button? Hey, cute. Can you stand on the button for me so I can get up there to whatever that shiny thing is on the ledge? It's just that I can't stand on the... I can't stand on the fan and press the button at the same time. You cute? Okay. I'll figure out how to bring a box or something over here later. 6 is this way. I like you cute a lot, is the thing. Hey, Al. Same question. Can you come step on this button for me? It's just over here. You're like walking in the same direction that like it is. You just here. I'll meet you down over here. And if you can just come here, you know what? It's fine. You have sort of a leisurely pace you're walking. Can you just stand on the button for me, Al? If you could stand on the button for me, I could be uplifted and go get whatever that shiny thing is. It would be good. It would be good science. It would be good team building. Al, as a first officer, you must surely be like wanting to make sure that we all work well together. Al, if you could stand on the button. I'd like it very much if you did. Or you can go up if you want. I don't care if you want to go up. Have you ever ridden one of the fans? Like they lift you up into the air. It's completely safe. I've done it a lot. They're in a lot of the puzzle rooms. So if you could just like I don't care which one we do. I just really am interested to grab the shiny thing to see what it does. Yeah, just right over here. Just right over here. Al. 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 The button. Alcatraz. Two 6-4. No, I guess not. All right. Okay, what's over here? Number 7. Did we do 6 already? Yeah, we did 6 already. Let me just look at the sign and double check that because I'm... No, we haven't done 6 already. It's just over here. Apparently. Just a little ways off. Okay, there it is. We'll just head up this flight of stairs. And head up this second flight of stairs. And then head up this third flight of stairs. Then head up this fourth flight of stairs. There we go. Up and down. Which is, I suppose, a nice match with all around. Okay, so here's our progress wheel. We need to get a blue laser over here into this little alcove. There's a very narrow window through which we can actually shoot a laser into there. Over here we've got a green emitter. And over here's a blue emitter. And wow, it would take like, what? One... at least 2 connectors to get that blue laser over to where it needs to go. What's up there? There's a thing up there. On a little platform. Literally, I cannot tell what that device is from here. Because of the jagglies. It looks like it might be a jammer. Okay. In here... Alright, there's another little alcove. It's got a barrier. We open it by pressing a button, and in there is a swap platform with a box on it. I don't know what good that does us. Oh, also over here there's a fan launcher. So let's go ahead and do that thing. And launch ourselves up here and see what's up here. There's just another little raised area with another fan launcher that'll send us over to, well, I mean, it would if it were working properly, but it's not. So let's try that again. Oh, okay. It's another swap platform that has a combiner on it. Huh. And there's no straight up connectors anywhere in here, so I guess our play is to take the inverter that we have here, turn that blue laser into a red laser, and then we'll grab that combiner over there and hit that green emitter and the inverter with the red laser to turn it into a blue laser and then shoot it into that little alcove. The problem is that I have no idea how to get all of those items to work in concert at the moment. Like, the green emitter over here is like behind the fence, so we're going to have to make something tall in order to be able to do that whatsoever. Hey, real quick, what happens when we take an inverter, which specifically turns red lasers into blue lasers and blue lasers into red lasers, and attach it to a green emitter? What does it turn into? Oh, nothing. It shorts out the same way it does if you throw a red and a blue laser into it. It's just zero. It's not doing anything. Huh. Oh, can we pull the fan blades off of the jumpers? Yeah, well, at the very least, we can pull that one off. What about this one? Yeah, okay. So I was wondering, like, it only seems like we have one thing out here, and we need to have multiple things, because we need to be able to pull the other stuff off of the platforms. I guess we do that with the... I guess we do that with the boxes. So... trying to figure out how we get... Like, we need the inverter, the combiner, and the box that's underneath us to be out. Those are the three puzzle elements that we need in order to make the thing go. And in order to do that, we need to swap the fan blades that we're using to jump from place to place. To, like, take them out. Oh, okay, so we need to... This is actually incredibly... Well... Okay. I didn't mean for it to go like that, but it's okay that it went like that. What we'll do is... launch ourselves back up here so we can get the inverter the hell off of here. Because it doesn't need to be up there right now. Right. We'll launch ourselves again onto this first platform, and we'll detach the fan blade. So we can use it to weight down that. And that'll let us get the box out. We'll just trade the inverter for it for right now. Then we can... send the box up that way. We pick up the fan blade, so we go back up to that first platform. We'll reset the fan there. Take the box with us up to here. And trade it out for the converter. So now we have that. That's not actually helping in the way I thought it would. So the question I'm running is we need to be able to take one of the fan blades and put it up there on that second platform. But in order to get to that platform, we need to have both of the fans active so we can, like, be blasted over there. Can we detach the fan blade as we bounce away from it? Let me try. If we can, that's really tight going. No, I think we're just not going to be able to. If I get the box, can I put it down here and then use it to, like, jump up there and not have to worry about the fan blade? To get up to that first platform, and then we can boost ourselves over there. I feel like the answer is no. Alright, let's go get the box again, because I think I need to fuck around with the box first in order to, like, change the heights of some stuff. I did not actually bring anything up here to swap with the box. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and grab the combiner again. Oof. And up this way. Woof. And over this way. Alright. Box have. Bauxites. Okay, so we can't just jump up there. I didn't think we could, but it would, why not check? So, like, theoretically, I guess we could, like, we can put the box down there and then we could put the, like, fan blade on top of the box so that we could pick it up if we were up there on the platform. On the other hand, we, like, can't get up onto the platform if the fan's off the blade. Or the fan blade is off of the mechanism. I jump and pull the fan blade off of that one from here? No, that's nothing. Tell you what, let's go ahead and do this. I want to just kind of reset the puzzle entirely, and I'm going to go on break real quick. And, well, I didn't quite mean to get blown up to here, but I'm gonna. I'm going to go to break real quick, because it's 8 o'clock, it's the local time, it's the time I go to break. And maybe give my brain a little bit of a rest will help me come at this a little bit fresher. Before I do that, I want to take the opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, the lives of people of color matter, that Sudanese, Congolese, Palestinian, Ukrainian, Iranian lives matter. There are many ways to be in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, and we like to push for direct mutual aid, as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less. And people with a firm foundation under them don't need as big a lever to move the world. So, on the break, I'm going to go to the mutual aid hashtag on my social media and boost what needs I can there. I recommend that you take the opportunity to check out mutual aid initiatives in places you operate, both online and in neat space. Because the only way we get out of this is through. And the only way we get through this is together. In the meantime, maybe do a stretch, drink some water, have a snack, hit the restroom, take your meds if you take meds and it's time to. Do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same. And I'll catch you back here in just a little bit. I forgot to actually hit the button. Hang on. obviously I did. Right. Let's look at this puzzle again with fresh eyes. So, what we need are the inverter right here, the box that's on that swap platform, and the fucking combiner that's on that swap platform. We need those three things to be accessible to us in order to open this. The problem with that is that the only other things that we can swap them out for, besides those three things, are the fan blades that are attached to these launchers, which are going to get us up to where that, like, third thing is, where the combiner is. And I don't fucking know... Oh, right. I don't know how we can do that, because once we pull one of these fan blades off, then we can't get up there anymore. Like, we could bring the box or the inverter up here to trade this out and get the combiner off, but then that just leaves us with the same problem. We need a thing, and we need to get it down here. And I don't know how the fuck we do that. Let's try one more time to attach the fan as we walk over it. It's not. That can't be the solution. Like, if nothing else, I think even if we managed to do it, then the air would simply stop pushing and we'd fall short of the glory of God. It's... Sparks, man, what are you gonna do? Religious indoctrination's a hell of a drug. Fuck. Alright. So, like... So we could... theoretically, okay. Let's try this. Launch up here to the second launcher and pull the fan blade off that. We'll swap that out with this box. Then we'll detach this fan blade. And take the inverter and put that on top of the box on top of the launcher pad. And then when we put the fan blade back, it'll launch both of those things up to the second stage turbine blade. Which doesn't matter because the fan blade isn't up here anymore and we can't push ourselves over to the higher thing. Damn, okay. Like, I could just do that same thing with the other fan blade, but that still doesn't help. Like... Alright, let's get the fan blades back. So, like, if there was any other... I have to be missing something. There's an element of this that I am not seeing. That will make all of this click, and I have no idea what it is. It's like we can't use the inverter, the combiner, or the box for any other purpose is the problem. Like there's not a way we can use it to like raise another lift in order to get up there or keep a door open so that we can sort of shimmy things around in a useful way. Like the only other interactive element in this whole zone is this one button. Which we can press down with anything, but that's not useful. Do we actually need to? Hang on. Oh, yeah, we absolutely do. I was about to say, do we need to, like, actually get the box down in order to, like, usefully use the combiner? Can we just do that from up here? But no, we can't. Well, I missed the platform because of the way things are. But no, we can't do that because the combiner is also going to need to hit the green emitter out here, and it can't do that from way up on that upper platform because there's a wall in the way. But, hang on. Maybe we don't need the box? Maybe we don't need the box. Hang on one second. Let's go ahead and... Oh, no. Never mind. I was about to say, maybe we could put the, like, combiner over here on the second stage and be able to hit the blue receiver from here, but we can't. There's like a fence in the way to stop specifically that behavior. Like, fucking, okay, for my own edification, let's go ahead and pull some bullshit and get the box out here again. Well, no, we can't even do that. Like, we can't... Yeah, actually, we can. It's fine. I can do it that way. Let's take the fan blade off. Put it on the put it on the button. Switch the... Come here. Switch the inverter with the box. Now we have the box. Take... Oh, that was fun. We'll take the box all the way up to the thing, to the place. Swap out the box for the combiner. We're gonna just go ahead and have the inverter and the combiner out at once, and then see what we can do with that. It's not going to be enough, but maybe seeing it that way will help make the things go ping in my brain. Take the combiner up to the second stage. And yeah, there's like basically nowhere I can put this where it's going to be able to hit the... Where it's going to be able to hit the receiver up here. I can get it to where it hits like the emitter and the inverter, so it can actually shoot out the blue laser we need. But there's nowhere I can put this that's gonna make a damn bit of difference. I still need the box. Go like all the way back here and make sure that I'm not missing a damn thing. I have to be missing a damn thing. Here's the thing about this game, Talos Principle. This was true of Talos Principle 1 also. I think I said it while I was playing that. In our first playthrough, we did have to go and like look up some of the solutions to the puzzles. This is usual most of the time when we play puzzle games. Eventually we'll come across one that's just like, we're not getting this and our patience has run out and we want to continue the game. And almost every time doing that, the difference between a good puzzle game and a bad puzzle game to us is when we look up the solution because we got too frustrated with a puzzle, Who are we mad at upon reading the solution? Is it that we forgot we could do something, or is it that the way that we should be able to do the thing was not explained? And with Talos Principle, it almost always was the first one. So there is some way of interacting with this that we're not seeing. Like, I really feel that the answer is we need to get one of the fan blades up there to trade out for whatever's on the upper shelf so that we can actually have the three things we need out all at once. But again, I don't know how the fuck we get a fan blade all the way up there because we need both of the fan blades. We can't pull the fan blade off of that launcher to put onto here and just sort of swap it out that way. Because we need that launcher to be able to launch us here onto the second stage. It's about getting to the point where we're gonna go fuck it and look up what we need to do. It's really getting to be about that time. Because it's been an hour on this one room. And I do not want to have the stream be just this. So I am just going to do that thing. Gonna go to... No, not you. Fuck off. Talos Principle 2, up and down. Figure out how to get the RGB converter high up without the hexahedron and the solution becomes apparent. Okay, so... Okay. So, like, I can get the RGB up there. But the problem is that it needs to be able to hit that also. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to look at the step by step. Oh, motherfuck. Okay, yes. Hey, I was correct. I I was correct. I looked at the solution and went, "Oh, right." I did forget the way that some of this works, and it's on me. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so here's what we had to do. We don't need the fucking box. We don't need it. Here's why we don't need it. Let me go get the fan blade real quick, because I do need that part. So, here's why we don't need the box. Because what we need to do is hit that green and that blue. We'll set it up here on top of this slightly raised platform, because that makes a red laser. And we can use the inverter to change the red laser into a blue laser. So we didn't need to do all that other shit whatsoever. Listen, I don't need to justify myself to you, but I'm doing well. I went halfway through this without having to actually look up a solution. Like halfway through basically the whole game. It's my story, I'm sticking to it. So, we still need to do 7 and 8, and I want to do those, but there's also like 2 question marks over this way, and one of them's absolutely the other triangle puzzle. So let's do this palm reader real quick, and then we'll do the triangle puzzle. We're probably going to have to go a little later than usual in order to be able to get into the tower by the end of the evening. That's fine by me. I don't have anywhere to be. And no one's watching this live, so, you know. Poisonous Humility. Excerpted from Orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton. But what we suffer from today is humility in the wrong place. Modesty has moved from the organ of ambition. Modesty has settled upon the organ of conviction, where it was never meant to be. A man was meant to be doubtful about himself, but undoubting about the truth. This has been exactly reversed. Nowadays, the part of a man that a man does assert is exactly the part he ought not to assert, himself. The part he doubts is exactly the part he ought not to doubt, the divine reason. Huxley preached a humility content to learn from nature, but the new skeptic is so humble that he doubts if he can even learn. Thus, we should be wrong if we had said hastily that there is no humility typical of our time. The truth is that there is a real humility typical of our time, but it so happens that it is practically a more poisonous humility than the wildest prostrations of the ascetic. The old humility was a spur that prevented a man from stopping, not a nail in his boot that prevented him from going on. For the old humility made a man doubtful about his efforts, which might make him work harder, but the new humility makes a man doubtful about his aims, which will make him stop working altogether. Commentary from Miranda. I had to read this twice to fully understand it. Excursion. Excursion Report 3 from Miranda to Athena. It's incredible. There's an entire submerged town just off the coast, surprisingly well preserved. Sailing over it, I finally understood what the ancients meant by eerie. I obviously couldn't have I obviously couldn't have the kind of physiological response they did, but I think the mental response was pretty close. A contradictory response, part melancholy, part fascination. It's strange how tragedy and destruction make the beauty of civilization more obvious. P.S. A deer got into the maintenance area and made a huge mess. Sorry, I'll clean it. P.P.S. I may have been feeding it. Failed to load profile, failed to load comments. Hypatia's Journal 6 from Hypatia's Journal, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 296. Cornelius and Sarabahi went back to the dam today. We've been holding off on constructing any new humans to concentrate on building a home for them first, but there's a limit to what 13 people can do on their own, and everyone is eager to start construction on some of the more ambitious structures. Sarabahi's kindness and patience is something we'll certainly miss out here, where tempers can sometimes run high. And I'll miss Cornelius too. He was there when I was born, and he is just as much as father to me as Athena and Alexandra Drennan are my mothers. But I suppose I can always go visit them. The dam isn't that far, and once we complete the monorail in a few decades, it will truly only be a few minutes away. And what are a couple dozen years, really, when you might live forever? And then a audio log from Trevor.
Something I really like about Alex, one of the reasons why I'm here doing this, is that she's really humble. She has this incredibly positive view of humanity. She believes we can accomplish anything, but it's not about her. She doesn't think that she's smarter or better than anyone else. She just looks at us as a species, and even though she can see how small we are in the grand scheme of things, she thinks that we could conquer the stars and give meaning to the universe. Even now. Even when none of us are going to live to see it. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, so this wasn't the other triangle puzzle, it's a monument. A Prometheus.
These monuments represent each of the entities. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Prometheus.
Makes sense, I guess.
For a given value of sense.
So the plaque on Prometheus's monument says, "Find my sprite and follow it until it leads you back to me." So presumably that's what we were meant to do with that glob of nanites that we followed and then lost. In the very first set of puzzles in East 1. Okay then, well, we're back to 7, so let's go ahead and do that. Propulsion. Okay, so here is our progress wheel. It's behind a barrier. The barrier is controlled by a red lock, which is on the other side of the barrier. It's easy to see where we need to put the thing that's going to get the laser over there. There's a little platform, like up on the wall that we can't jump to. There is a fan launcher over here, which will absolutely shove us over there. Yeah, we just need to figure out how to get whatever it is over to here, so it can fire down at that laser and open up the gate. We have, what, a driller, we have an inverter, we have a box, and we have a blue emitter. So we need to do the thing where we use our inverter to make the blue laser into a red laser, and then capture the red laser with the accumulator, and then put it up over there so it can shoot down to the red receiver. And everything else is just arranging how we do that. Alright, so we don't need this fan blade until, like, the very last part. So we can go ahead and take that off and use it to put this... We can use it to take the box off the swap platform, and then we put the inverter on top of the box so it can get to the emitter, which is behind the fence. We take Mr. Driller, swap that out with the accumulator, so that we can accumulate. We don't need the inverter anymore. So let's go ahead and swap that out for the fan blade so we can have the fan blade back. Now we need to, yeah, we'll just take the box over here, so that we can use that on this other swap platform, so we can have the driller and the accumulator out at the same time. Use the driller to punch through the copper wall here, so we can put the accumulator on the correct side. Here we go. Pick it back up here, put it on the launcher, up onto the little platform, and set it down. There we go. Much easier. Wheel progressed. 4 minutes as opposed to an hour.
Very smart one, Kay. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised. I mean, like, clearly you know what you're doing.
Listen, thank you. I did need the confidence boost after that other one took as long as it took. Thank you, you cute. This is the reason you're my favorite. Also because your cat's name is Bruce, and later on you tell us why. I definitely posted on social media when we played through this the first time how I ended up having a crush on you. All right, number 8, and then we still have the other triangle puzzle to do. Okay. Transmission. So there's... Hey, I'm on transmission. Or rather, any mission I'm on is a transmission by default. There's the Wheel of Progress. It's in a little cage raised up off the ground. There is a fan that will boost us up to it. That fan is activated by a red receiver. Oh, hey! It's another Robot Us's. It's been a while since we've seen another Robot Us. We also have a driller. That's where the red emitter is. And then there's this launcher here, which is going to put us on top of the structure that the progress wheel is in. Let's go ahead and do that and see what's up here. What's up here is a jammer. How about we jam that open and then take out the Robot Us. Can we remove the blade off of this thing? Yes, we can. So let's do that. We'll set that down there. There's a driller here. And I'm not really sure why. Is there a connector, like, anywhere? There isn't. Oh, okay. It's a distraction. It's a red herring. We are not meant to push the to get a connector over to there. What we do instead of that is, hang on. Let me get to where I can see the us that's up on the tower. Can I do that? Yeah, like just barely. Okay. Instead of that, we take the jammer and drop it down. And then stand on top of this copper floor. We need to put other us in a position where we can see ourselves in order to do this properly. Right here on the corner, I think we'll probably do it. Yeah. We'll take you and step you like way the hell back here. And if I stand on this here, can I get back down? Yeah, absolutely I can. Okay, so let's grab the jammer that we dropped down here, and we'll switch that out for Mr. Driller. And we point that up at the copper floor that first us is standing on, so that we fall through. Let me just go ahead and see if there's anything, like, up here. Oh, yeah. Here's the connector. Oh, I need to have item to swap in order for that to be useful. Uh-oh. Yeah, I had sort of assumed that this other copper floor would drop us down, like, directly onto the progress wheel, but it won't, will it? It'll drop us into, like, the area in front of that where the fan blade is. So we need to bring something here to be able to swap out for the connector. What do we have that does that? It can't be the fan blade. It could possibly be the jammer. It can't be the other body, unfortunately. It can't be the driller either. Okay, so it has to be the jammer. Okay, I see how this works. Or think. Take the driller, put it on top of that. Then we take the fan blade. And switch it out with the jammer. We take the jammer. Hang on. Where do you need to stand? Somewhere useful. Over here. Actually. Back here, just make really sure that works. Still gotta think a couple steps ahead. Not quite as much as the, like, recording device from 1, but... No, wait. Okay, so we're gonna have to trap you back there. Wait, no, that's not it either. That can't work. And maybe I don't have to be quite that extreme about it. As long as I can see where other Robot Us is. Probably right here is fine. Probably right here is fine. Alright. No, grab the... No, grab the jammer, please. Please and thank you. Okay. We launch ourselves up, do the thing. Okay, fantastic. Just like that. Do the Mario. We... jam that open. Let's ground control. Come over here, take the fan blade off the thing since we don't need it, since Major Tom is already up there. Ground control switches out the fan blade for the driller. And hey there. You standing about where you need to be? Yeah, you're standing on the thing. I just need to take the jammer back. Great. So swap that. Go back to ground control. Ground control punches a hole in the floor. I said ground control punches a hole in the floor. Thank you. Now Major Tom switches out the thing for the other thing. I need to fuck around with this other, like, copper floor, or do I just jump down there? Seems like I can just jump down there and it'll be fine. I'm just gonna jump down there and it'll be fine. Let's step on that to get the thing open. I might as well take the driller and move it out of the way. We grab the connector, connect it to the emitter, the receiver. Ahem. I said the emitter and the receiver. Both things, thank you. That turns on the fan, and we can step on the fan. Hop our way over here, and progress the wheel. Excited about it. We do still have that other triangle room to do. As a reminder, triangle room hates particle room. And when they get in a fight, triangle wins. Triangle room. Elegance. What was her name? Never mind. That's a bad animated reference anyway. So there's that. There's a barrier to open. With a jammer, so I did that. Where the hell's the progress wheel? Is it up there? Looks like it is. Is there anything else in this, like, first area that I need to fuck around with? I was about to say not really, but there's a swap platform over here, and there's a fan blade on top of it. So that's not ideal. Can we take this fan blade off of this launcher over here? No. Okay, so we need to be able to get that fan blade over there. Onto that launcher over there, and then we also need to be able to activate that launcher with the receiver that's next to it. But also, like, the progress wheel's there, and there's nothing that's attached to the barrier it's behind, so we need to bring the jammer over here too. Or a jammer. I think there's another one on swap platform. Okay, so let's do the first thing. And jam open that barricade from both sides so we can take this jammer out and through. And we need to do that so that we have a spare thing. To bring over to here. The reason we need a spare thing to bring over to here, because we need to get that connector off of the swap box so that we can we'll just go ahead and move Mr. Driller over a little bit and make that a little bit easier for us. So that we can get the red emitter and the red receiver, and we'll set the connector back down through the wall so it does that thing. So that's activated now, which is good. That's part of it. But we still need that fan blade from over there. I guess we can jump up this way. We can take the driller and switch that out for this jammer here. So we can get back into that other area. But now we don't have anything to switch out for the fan blade. Wait, how many things can we have out at once? Because we can't... Can we pull that off? We cannot. Crud. There's nothing around here that I'm missing. Okay, so there's the connector up there that we have set up, and the jammer right here. And in terms of things, that's it. So we can only have 2 things out at a time? We need 3 things. Okay. So let's get Mr. Driller back, and we're not going to worry about the connector right now. We're going to try and figure out how to do the rest of this first. Oh, okay. So... No, this is correct. We need the jammer up here because we need to get the connector up there and the fan blade out. We just need to be able to get the fan blade back in here. Because once we can launch ourselves up onto that platform, then we can swap out the connector for the jammer and jam open the barrier that's keeping the progress wheel from us. But But the rest of that isn't important right now. The thing that's important right now is making sure we can get the fan blade back here. So what do we need in order to do that? Did I bring the connector back down here? It sure didn't, but that's fine. You can just pop up back there and bring it back down. Bring it back down now. Okay, well, this I don't think is ideal, but that's fine. Switch that out for the fan blade. We can put the fan blade back on here. But now we need the connector in order to start the thing. And we can't take the jammer back over there because the jammer needs to be jamming this barrier open. But and also, if I may say, do I need to get the other jammer to jam this open from both sides? So we can place one of the jammers over there. Yes, actually, I think that's how we do that. So I'm trying to do fucking Tower of Hanoi shit in my head, and I don't. Okay, we don't need the connector. Fuck the connector. What we need is the other jammer out here. And to do that, we need Mr. Driller back. So let's grab that and bounce up here. And then we need to come back down here and grab that fan blade so we have something to swap the jammer out for. There we go. Now we jam that open from that side. We swoop up this way. Grab Mr. Driller and switch it out for the other jammer. Put that on there. Okay. So now we have all the pieces we need back here. It's just we need to go through the methodology of getting them where they need to be. So first of all, we need to put Mr. Driller up here so it can punch through the wall. What needs to be up there? connector and the jammer. We don't need to fuck around with this jammer anymore, so let's put that up there where it needs to go. Viola, a fan blade. We switch the fan blade out for the connector. And then go back up to the platform. We move Mr. Driller over a little bit. And use the connector to do the connecting, red to red. There we go. And now we don't need Mr. Driller anymore. We can put Mr. Driller back over here to get the fan blade back. That lets the fan both have a blade and to be active because of the laser. Okay, got it. And then we take the connector, swap it out for the jammer, jam that barricade open, and... Whew! That was a lot. We'll progress. Now, we'll head off to do the Tetramino Bridge real quick, and then up the tower, and that'll be the stream for the evening. Exciting. Take one last walk through this beautiful, beautiful snow-covered forest. Something Christopher Rush. We have a thing on our social media blast. What is it? Places of Longing. Oh, part of this series of paintings that Athiliok, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, is doing. It's a painting of the city of New York in the distance. It looks as though Central Park has sort of overtaken most of the city, making it a very central park. New York was a place that aroused great passions. Some loved it and called it the greatest city in the world. Others hated it and called it an ugly cesspit full of rude snobs. I don't know where the truth lies, but I know it was a place that was full of life. There was always something new going on, people rushing about and excitement in the air. It must have been an overwhelming sensation to stand in the canyons formed by those great skyscrapers in a crowd of people, feeling history happen all around you. Okay. So this starts off easy again, because there's only a couple of pieces that fit in the... that fit in the spaces available. Like that. And aha, and like so. There we go, that one was easy. stand up the tower, and we'll see who's here to talk at us. Oh, hey, Prometheus. It's the first time we've seen you.
Hear me, friend, and heed my words. Beware Pandora. She is nothing but fear and despair, and she will do anything to prevent you from reaching the flame. It is she who disrupted the trials of the Sphinx, and who bound me in the...
Cut off and dissipated mid-sentence, and then the laser comes out.
Well done, 1K. Looks like our hypothesis was correct. The megastructure is opening again. Everyone come to the VTOL, please. It's time to find Athena.
You're really hanging all your hopes on that, Byron.
She seems capable of displacing or controlling the other entities.
We should be careful, but we can't let such a vague threat paralyze us. Just keep your eyes open.
All right. So I guess tomorrow we're gonna head back into the megastructure. That'll be fun. I like the megastructure. It's cool. It's like if a Borg cube returned to wilderness. But that's for tomorrow. We're done for the evening. Thanks for anyone who chose to come in here and stick it out with me. I'm September of the Free Association. Gonna be back here tomorrow, same bot time, same bot channel. Until then, I love you. Keep yourself safe. Find something to do and do it. Later.